Of course, I am talking about Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear Solid and tonight's industry icon. It's gonna get loud, Hideo. He is here, and we're so happy. So I couldn't start the show without getting this over.
Well. It's that time of year again. The time of year where we get to watch Jeff Keighley give Kojima a deep throat blowing on stage streamed to millions while they make a Muppet watch. Look at that Kermit though. He doesn't have a gag reflex. Oh. Stuttering Craig, please hire me to do some animation work for this year's RGAs, please. Anyway, aside from being forced to see that every year, seriously, Jeff, I'm happy for your guys' relationship, but could you please, for the love of God, do it in the privacy of your own home? Oh. We also watched the Game Awards for trailers, because, as we all know, insert the Red Letter Media clip here.
Get laid. I'm Rich Evans. I've gotten laid. You can do it.
Oh.
That's the wrong clip. Basically it's the new E3, because Summer Games Fest never have any big reveals, and it's a shit alternative. Man, I miss the mid-2000s. Anyway, here is my obligatory predictions on the big reveals this year. You know, the thing that everyone does this time of year for clickbait engagement. So while I'm doing that, you enjoy your modded Skyrim Goon session while you have me in the background. Okay, kitten? Oh my god. Firstly, let's get Skyrim. I have never played Skyrim before, alright. Firstly, let's get Square Enix out of the way. With the corporate restructuring still in full effect and will not be finished until the end of next year, there's a good chance that they won't be showing anything too major. Granted, they do have a big release plan for the next year, so let's look at the three elephants in the room. Firstly, Dragon Quest XII is not going to be shown at all. I'm honestly considering it dead until further notice. It's clearly gone through development hell, the loss of Toriyama was a big hit, probably got a major restart, and the DQ team seems to be focusing more on the remakes instead. Final Fantasy VII Part 3 may have a chance. Granted, Rebirth just dropped, and they are currently working on the Switch 2 and Xbox ports of Part 1, and they don't want to cannibalize sales for that, so more than likely that's going to be next year. So that leaves Kingdom Hearts 4. If there was a time to show it, now would be it. The tie-over project was cancelled, the team working on that was folded into the main one, and they've been working on this project since Remind dropped, which was about 5 years ago. It's been a while since then, and I'm sure it's getting close to the end of its dev cycle. That being said, it will probably be another year or so out, and they would probably want that to be the 25th anniversary title. We should be hearing something soon, because Haley Joel Osment's Instagram teased he's going into the recording booth. And lastly checks, he doesn't do a lot of voiceover work aside from Kingdom Hearts, meaning that the English dub is in the process of being recorded, which is normally the last thing done. So I'm sure we're going to be getting an update before the year's out, but if we don't, absolutely it's going to be next year. We may actually be getting something on the Final Fantasy IX remake due to the Memories of Another Sky collab. Either that or the assets made for the remake was used into that after getting cancelled. Seriously, you don't set up all that merch, new art, redesign for the main characters, and not do a remake. Either that shit was cancelled late, or it got pushed back to later than expected, because merch contracts are normally signed in a few years in advance, and you can't really cancel them if the main project it was supposed to tie into gets shit canned. As for Final Fantasy XVII, we're probably not going to see anything until the new PlayStation drops. I'm hoping it's going to be an MMO because I feel like 14 ran its course. Endwalker was a good closing chapter, and Dawn Trail, well, less said the better. Capcom is going to show more of Okami 2, and maybe something Monster Hunter related, and probably a release date for Onimusha, since that's not out yet, and it's coming out next year. And if they do tease anything, I'm hoping it's something Devil May Cry related. But it's probably just going to be more info on that really bad Netflix adaptation. I really hate that this is going to be a lot of people's introduction to the series, and it makes me want to fucking puke. From Software's next year release will more than likely be Dustblood, so we're probably going to get more on that front. That being said, if FromSoft really wants to surprise us, I'd really love it if all of a sudden they say they're going to make a new Kingsfield game. For those not in the know, Kingsfield was actually From Software's original baby, and all of their earlier games actually spawned from that. Hell, Demon's Souls was basically King's Fields in third person, honestly. So it would be interesting for them to just modernize it for a new age. That being said, the Switch 2 port of Elden Ring's delay may cause Dustblood to also come out later than planned. Apparently that port is not going too well. On the Sony front, we're probably going to get more information on Wolverine, because that's the only real major thing they have going on. Well, that and the Arc System Works fighter, but fighting games aren't not really a Game Awards sort of thing, so I'd be surprised if we see anything about it there. Sony may float around a Bloodborne remaster, but we all know that's probably the plans for the PS6 as a launch title, like Demon's Souls was. With the Switch 2 already being out and the Valve Steam machine coming out next year, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony just announces the PlayStation 6 as well. I know the PS5 was basically a non-generation, acting as like PS4 Pro, and all of Sony's first-party efforts were basically just another remaster, cross-gen, got cancelled, or a mistaken waste of money. So really, I don't think the PS5 really got its time to shine, and having to deal with another hardware refresh when I'm considering to finally get a PS5 is not a good look, honestly. As for anything from Xbox, look, anything cool announced by Microsoft normally gets cancelled, and whatever actually does come out is mediocre at best. Hi-Fi Rush and Ninja Gaiden 4 are the exceptions, not the rule. Hell, I'm pretty sure the 360 is a fluke too. Updates on Witcher 4 are also going to be expected. Yeah, I don't care either. Valve time! If the creators of Path Fortress 2 is going to show anything, it's going to be the showstopper. They have the new console in the form of the brand new Steam machine that they're smartly making in-house this time, so we don't run into the same issues of manufacturing that the 3DO did back in the day. Though with RAM prices getting more expensive due to the AI bubble, as well as tariffs being a thing, well, it still might be priced accordingly. Thank God I upgraded my computer this year and not next year, good lord. Now whenever Valve releases new hardware, it's always launched with a new game, which is sad that it comes down to Valve needing to release new hardware to get anything pushed out these days. Anyway, we know Deadlock is a thing, but I never really see any buzz about it these days, and honestly, might not be the best launch title, though I can totally see them doing that, but there's like no hype for it, so here, new Steam machine, buy this game that no one cares about. Okay. Oh, no. I'm thinking it's the big one. I'm thinking it's Half-Life 3. Rumors and leaks indicated that they restarted development on it again, and the new cliffhanger ending at the end of Alex shows that they planned on continuing the story sooner rather than later. So I think Valve is finally going to count to the number 3, which will be a launch title for the new Steam machine, which we already knew about that being a thing, but also due to leaks. I have a big feeling that that's a play. The new hardware was shadow announced randomly late last month, so it's probably going to be how the show ends. Now, the only thing else I could think that would be the final grand reveal, if not Half-Life 3, would probably be something Zelda related. Granted, Nintendo is never really a big player here. The most we ever get is DLC announcements, and we're probably not going to see anything too major from them, but if the rumors are true, we might be getting an FF7 remake-style version of Ocarina of Time, which maybe, just maybe, not gonna lie, actually morbidly curious about that. It might actually get me back in the series, who knows. Well, that's all well and good there, Relic, but what about Game of the Year? Who do you think is gonna win? Tell me, you sexy, sexy man. God, I want your babies, make me yours. Good question, you perfectly healthy straw man. Actually, a tough one. Really stiff competition this year. Okay, let's see what we got here. You have the surprise hit Claire Obscure. You got Kojima's new movie disguised as a walking simulator with some gunplay. A grand return to Donkey Kong, which, by the way, is the only one of these I've actually played. 2 sequels to indie hits that everyone waited on for years. And Kingdom Come Deliverance 2! Which, I'm not sure why it's here. I feel like you're just selling a slot. Good on you, Game of the Year contender, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yay! I'm sorry if Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was your Game of the Year this year. I've heard nothing about it. I don't know if it's any good or anything. No shade to the people who worked on it. I'm sure it's a fine game. It's not gonna fuck one. I'm sorry. God, I hope I'm proven wrong. Honestly, yeah, it's just like haha, shows him. Fuck you, Elick. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is Game of the Year. In my best estimate, it's going to be a coin toss between Claire Obscure and Silksong. And judging by the fact that Silksong pissed a lot of the gaming industry off due to when it released and how it was priced in a way where it doesn't feel like you're being robbed, and how it also completely crashed every single storefront. actually being a good game that doesn't preach to you about shit you don't care about, I'm gonna guess Clear Obscure is gonna win out of pure spite and malice. Yeah, but who knows? I can easily see it landing on Tails instead. Oh, who am I kidding? It's gonna be Death Stranding 2 because Jeffrey just loves to give Kojima dome. Oh! Hey, firstly, I mean no ill will towards anyone I've poked fun at. Everything isn't good fun. If I did hurt a rich person's feelings, though, that's honestly hilarious, not gonna lie. Anywho, I'm gonna try to be a bit more productive. I know I keep saying that, but shut up. I just need something to do while I'm job hunting. I lost my day job for 4 years recently, and no one's hiring right now because of the holidays. So let's see if I can get this YouTube thing to start turning numbers while I find another rat wheel to get stuck into. Until next time. Oh!